Well, let's dive deeper into the situation in Syria. From Nancy in France, I'm joined by Lina Shamy, who is a Syrian activist who lived in Aleppo. And from Damascus, Bahjat Hajjar, who is the executive director of the Local Administration Councils Unit. That's an NGO promoting good governance. Thank you both for joining me on the Al Jazeera NewsHour. Bahjat, I'll begin with you. You're in Damascus and you witnessed firsthand those scenes of celebration as thousands gathered in celebration marking the end of the Assad regime.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for inviting me to speak. Actually, my voice is because of all the demonstrations. I hope it's helping. Yeah, it's the first time in Damascus after 13 years that the Syrian people were able to demonstrate, to celebrate in a very loud voices their demands of freedom and now of the accountability of the Assad regime. 13 years ago, we were demonstrating in the neighborhoods of Damascus, in some of neighborhoods. It was a dream. It was a dream to reach a square in Damascus, a single square, to say that we want the change in Syria. And every time we faced violations, we faced bullets and shooting directly to the demonstrators. For the first time, after the fall of the Syrian regime, everybody was celebrating, those who were still in Damascus. I just arrived to Damascus for the first time after 12 years being away from Damascus yesterday. Yesterday, after 12 years, I was able to come to Damascus to visit my hometown that I was forcibly displaced. I've spent the last 12 years working on civic space in Idlib, in Aleppo, and working sometimes from Turkey. The first time I was able to come safely as the safe return to Damascus to be able to demonstrate with Syrian people. The happiness that I saw over the faces of all Syrians, those who are still in Damascus and friends who came all the way from Idlib and areas that they were out of the control of the Syrian regime, were able to celebrate together the fall of the Syrian regime.
And Bahjat, you talk about this feeling of everyone being able to celebrate together and also you personally being able to return to Damascus safely for the first time in so long. Lina, I'm curious to get your sentiments on that, considering that you're watching all of this from outside, you're watching this from France. What is the sentiment of the diaspora community?
Well, still to this day, actually trying to process and to believe that this big dream really came true. First, I want to congratulate all the Syrian people, wherever they are in Syria, in the camps and in diaspora. Also, congratulations to all free people around the world, because this victory is for all of us. We know now that we have the agency and we have the power to change our reality. No matter how much the world's powers want to impose on us or want us to believe, dreams of freedom do come true.
And Bahjat, of course, governance is an area that you look particularly at. Right now, we have G7 leaders talking about good governance, non-sectarian governance. What are your perspectives on that as a Syrian?
Well,
I mean, that was...
For Bahjat,
yeah,
sorry.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, that was the demands of Syrian people, to be able to choose the way that they want to rule or to govern their country. And that was the reason why the Syrian regime replied with violence, with military solutions. Now, I mean, as Lina was already mentioning, that the dream come true, that we are able to change. And I don't think that it would be able to go back to how it was before the Syrian revolution. I mean, nobody can now pass around the demands of the Syrian people. I've worked with Syrians out of this control of the Syrian regime. And areas were under the attack on a daily basis. In Damascus, Rif Damascus, East Ghouta, in Aleppo city, in Idlib, they choose democracy to govern their local councils. They choose elections to choose them. And this is the only way we celebrate it today. Everybody is happy. The way that we see Syria is the inclusive state that includes everybody, and everybody is able to participate and to be able to speak, at least, without being punished, without being in the detaining centers, as we saw the sadly horrible scenes coming out of the jails. We are not going back. We want the state that we wanted. The same demands today in Umayyad Square, a few meters from where I am now, were the same demands in March 2011, while unfortunately the international community was not able to do or to act. And the happiness coming from my side was that, the last year was very, very tough on us. Everybody was saying that game over. Let's be realistic. Assad has won, and we are going to deal with him. We are going to normalize. We are going to work with him for refugee return. And now refugees are trying to go back wherever. I crossed from Gaziantep to north of Syria, while hundreds and hundreds of families with their packs, with everything, with their children, are waiting for their turn to be able to return back home, even though many of these their houses are destroyed in different areas, but at least they can return home and rebuild it again.
And Lina, on this matter of refugees being able to return home, how important is that there is a sense of trust in the new administration, trust on the part of the refugees that they feel that it is appropriate and suitable for them to be able to return to their homeland?
Well, I think now is the only time that we can say and we can talk about a voluntary and decent return. Before that, there was no place for voluntary and return place. All the governments around the world were trying to force on us this vision or this option, which is not an option for all the Syrians, of course, under Assad regime control. But now the big problem, the main problem has been removed, and everybody, every Syrian everywhere is optimistic and finding hope and finding it possible to come back home. Before that, before Assad leaving Syria, there was no place for such a solution. We became very depressed and full of despair because also full of doubt about the international community and about all the solutions that were circling around there because under the name or by the name of international or the political realism, we were going to be forced to live with the unacceptable and especially after international power started to talk about Assad regime has won the war, and now it's time to be realistic and go back. But of course, now is the only time that we can say that, the only time that we can talk about return. After the main problem has been removed, of course, and nothing actually to describe my feelings. We can dream now. Me and my family started to plan our plans in the country when we come back and where to live. Everybody is having a plan now to come back to their country. It's I really can't describe the emotions that we are living.
Undescribable emotions, certainly. Thank you so much, Lina Shamy, who is living in France, but a Syrian activist from Aleppo, and Bahjat Hajjar, who is in Damascus. Thank you both for that illuminating conversation.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.